sense a strange, small red light. Looks to be out maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out.
I fear not the dark itself, but what may lurk within it. Welcome to Lurk, bringing you creepy, strange, and bone-chilling stories, with your host, Jamie Jackson.
Hey Lurkers, welcome to this week's episode, where we dive headfirst into the eerie, the unexplained, and the downright spine-chilling. Tonight we're trekking into Rendlesham Forest, England, in December 1980, for what has been dubbed Britain's Roswell. If you're unfamiliar with Roswell, you can check out episode 157, The Roswell Incident, Crash, Cover-Up, or Conspiracy. This isn't just a UFO sighting. It's a multi-night saga involving U.S. airmen, a glowing triangular craft, physical evidence, and a military memo that screams something bizarre went down. We've got witness statements, declassified documents, and enough details to make your head spin. So grab your Geiger counter, watch for strange lights, and let's unravel the Rendlesham Forest incident. Rendlesham Forest is a 1,500 hectare, 3,700 acre, mixed woodland in Suffolk owned by Forestry England with recreation facilities for walkers, cyclists, and campers. It is part of the Sandlings Forest Site of Special Scientific Interest. A large area of the forest was cleared for the construction of RAF Woodbridge in 1943. Our story takes place in December of 1980, in Suffolk, England, and Rendlesham Forest sprawls between two U.S.-operated NATO air bases, RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge. These bases are Cold War powerhouses, home to the 81st Tactical Fighter Wing, F-4 Phantom jets, and, according to rumors, nuclear warheads stored in fortified bunkers at RAF Bentwaters. Basically, everyone knows the warheads were there, but they still won't admit it, even to this day. During this time, the Cold War was still going full force, with a lot of tension in Eastern Europe at the time. The Cold War was a period of tension between the U.S. and Soviet Union from 1945 to 1991, marked by rivalry without direct military conflict. It involved proxy wars, espionage, and the space race, reflecting ideological and political struggles. The Cold War's tension created a climate of fear, possibly fueling interest in unexplained phenomena like UFOs. But enough with the history lesson, let's get back to our story. Rendlesham Forest is a dense maze of pine and birch, its paths winding past marshy clearings and old farmhouses. The nearby village of Orford glows faintly from the Orford Ness Lighthouse, 5 miles east. It's the week after Christmas, and the bases are on low alert, with skeleton crews and lots of holiday cheer. But on December 26th, around 3 a.m., the festive mood shatters. The first night of the incident is December 26, 1980. At RAF Woodbridge's East Gate, security police spot red and blue lights flickering low over Rendlesham Forest, moving erratically. They saw the lights descending into the forest, which was about 1 mile from the East Gate of the Woodbridge base. The control tower reports no scheduled flights, and the lights don't match a helicopter or distress flare. Fearing a downed aircraft, possibly Soviet given Cold War paranoia, Sergeant Jim Peniston, a 29-year-old security supervisor with 10 years in the Air Force, takes charge. He's joined by Airman First Class John Burroughs, 20, a brash but sharp security officer, and Airman Ed Cabansag, tasked with driving and radio support. The trio heads into the forest on foot, flashlights cutting through the fog. Penniston later recalled, "We thought it was a crash. I was ready for wreckage, maybe even bodies." Instead, about a quarter-mile in, they find a glowing object in a clearing. It's a triangular craft, 9 feet wide at its base, 6 to 7 feet tall, with a smooth, black, obsidian-like surface that seems to bend light. The UFO itself had a reddish light on top and blue lights on the bottom. It appeared as though it was hovering or possibly standing on landing equipment. As the men moved closer to the object, though, it maneuvered away from them. According to Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt's memo, as the patrolmen approached the object, it maneuvered through the trees and disappeared. At this time, the animals on a nearby farm went into a frenzy. The object was briefly sighted approximately an hour later near the back gate. A faint yellowish-white glow pulses from its edges, and a soft electric hum fills the air. The whole forest was aglow with a white light. One of the servicemen, Sergeant Jim Penniston, later claimed to have encountered a craft of unknown origin and had to have made detailed notes of its features, touched its warm surface, and copied the numerous symbols on its body. The object allegedly flew away after their brief encounter. Penniston also claimed to have seen triangular landing gear on the object. Etched on one side were symbols, 3 inches tall, resembling Egyptian hieroglyphics or angular runes. Penniston, in his 1980 statement, described them. "They weren't letters or numbers, but they meant something. I felt it." Penniston circles the craft, sketching the symbols in his patrol notebook. He touches the hull, feeling a warm, almost alive texture, and a static jolt. In his 1994 interview, he said, "The moment I touched it, my head filled with ones and zeros, like a computer downloading into me. It was overwhelming." He later claimed this binary code contained coordinates and a message, decoded years later as Exploration of Humanity 8100, and a location off Ireland's coast called High Brossel. I think it's important to note that Sergeant Penniston's report, made shortly after the incident, contained no mention of physically encountering an unknown craft, nor of interacting with it. This report and associated sketches are neither signed nor dated, nor are they representative of AF Form 1169, Statement of Witness. Burroughs, standing 10 feet away, felt time distort. In a 2010 UFO Hunters interview, he said, "The air was heavy, like moving through molasses. My watch stopped at 2:47 a.m., but we were out there longer." The forest was silent, no birds, no wind, except for distant farm animals howling in panic. Cabin Sag, near the Jeep, radioed the base but got static, noting in his statement, "My radio kept cutting out like something was jamming it." The craft's glow brightened and it lifted off, weaving through the pines like it knew the forest, Penniston recalled. It shot skyward, leaving a faint trail of light, and was gone in seconds. Shortly after 4 a.m., local police were called to the scene, but reported that the only lights they could see were those from the Orford Ness Lighthouse, some miles away on the coast. Back at Woodbridge, the men were debriefed by Captain Mike Verano, who seemed skeptical. Penniston's statement reads, "They told us to write it down, but keep it quiet. I felt they didn't want to know." Burroughs noticed his boots were caked with a strange gritty residue, and both men felt a lingering buzz in their limbs. The next morning they returned with Staff Sergeant Bud Steffens and a Geiger counter, finding 3 indentations in the soil, 7 inches wide, 1.5 inches deep, forming an equilateral triangle 9 feet apart. Nearby pine trees had scorched bark 6 feet high, and the Geiger counter clicked at .05 millirotins per hour. I think I murdered that word. 5 times the background level. The second night, December 27th to 28th, 1980. Rumors spread across the base, and by the night of December 27th, or early December 28th, witnesses disagree on the date, more lights appeared. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, Deputy Base Commander, a 39-year-old career officer with a reputation for skepticism, decides to investigate. In his 1981 memo, he wrote, "I wanted to put this nonsense to bed." Halt assembles a team: Sergeant Bobby Ball, Airman Monroe Nevels with a Geiger counter, Sergeant Neville with a starlight scope, and Lieutenant Bruce England as second in command. They carry AN PDR-27 radiation detectors, cameras, and a cassette recorder. At the landing site, the indentations are still visible, and the Geiger counter hits .07 per hour, 10 times normal, highest near the indentation center. Halt's tape, declassified in 1983, captures Neville's "We're getting definite hits, sir. This isn't background." As they measure, England spots a red, pulsating light through the trees about 500 yards away. Halt's voice on the tape jumps. "There's something out there, a red glow like an eye." The object, basketball-sized with a black center, moves erratically, dripping what Halt called molten metal that vanishes on impact. It splits into 5 smaller orbs, which wink out. The team chases the light, but it stays ahead, beaming thin rays toward the ground. Halt's tape records him saying, "It's firing at us. Look at that beam." One beam strikes near the weapons storage area at Bentwaters 5 miles away, alarming Halt, who later said, "That was no accident. It was targeting." Above, star-like lights hover, one emitting a laser-like ray towards the team. Halt notes, "It's covering 120 degrees in seconds. Nothing we have moves like that." The starlight scope fritzes and radios cut out. After 2 hours, the lights vanished, leaving the team rattled. Halt's tape ends with, "I don't know what we saw, but it wasn't ours." Here is the audio from that recording.
150 feet or more from the initial, I should say, suspected impact point. Having a lift going, we can't get the light all to work. Seems to be some kind of mechanical problem. Let's send back and get another light on. Meantime, we're going to take some readings with the Geiger counter and chase around here a little bit, wait for another light on to come back in. Okay, we're now approaching the area within about 25-30 feet. What kind of readings are we getting? Anything? Just minor clicks. Minor clicks. Reading impressions. Is that all bigger they are? Well, there's one more well defined. Security control. We're still getting clicks. Can we read that on the scale? Yes, sir. We're now on the 5/10 scale, and we're reading about third, fourth increment. Okay, we're still comfortably safe here. You don't have a light on? It's ready. There's still minor readings. Second pod indentation. This one's dead. Let's go to the third one over here. Yes, now I'm getting some residual. I can read that. The meter's definitely giving a little pulse. I was going to say, let's go to the center of the area next and see what kind of reading we get out there. You're reading the clicks. I can't hear the clicks. Yes, sir. Got about the center, Bruce? Okay, let's go to the center. Yes, I'm getting that's the best deflection of the needle I've seen yet. Okay, can you give me an estimation? We're on the .5 scale. We're getting... That's trouble recently. That's approximately 01:25 hours. We're getting right at a half of a millimeter. Last point. I haven't seen it go any higher. Okay, we'll go out toward now it's picking up. This is out toward the number 1 indentation where we first got the strongest reading. Yeah, it's similar to what we got in the center.
It's mainly in the center. This looks like an area here, possibly. It could be a blast. It's in the center.
It's hard to tell. You gotta take this little finger, buddy.
Here's 2. Up to what, 7?
What? Just jumped up to
7/10 there.
7/10 right here in the center? Uh-huh. We found a small blast, what looks like a blasted or scrubbed up area here. We get very positive readings. Let's see, is that here the center?
Yes, it is. This is what we would assume would be the dead center. Just picking up more as you go along the whole area here now.
Up to 7/10 or 7 units, it's called on the 0.5 scale. Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we make a sweep? Here, I've got my gloves on now. Let's make a sweep out around the whole area, about 10 foot out. Make a perimeter run around it, starting right back here at the corner. Back at the same first corner where we came in. Let's go right back here. Don't let it depend upon you counting the clicks.
Right.
Okay, let's
I'll
start
see
it.
as it gets louder.
Then I can put the light on it and sweep around it. It would fly. Put it on the ground every once in a while.
This looks like an abrasion on the tree.
Okay, we'll catch that on the way back. Let's go around. We'll go ahead. Hit it there.
If there's any interest right over here, it looks like an abrasion pointing into the center.
It is. It may be old, though. There's some sap marks or something on it. Let's go on back around. All right?
So it gives some extension on there.
Yeah, this is an awkward thing to use, isn't it? What are we up to? We're up to 2-3 units. Deflection, you're getting in close to 1 pod. Okay, it's still not going above 3 or 4 units.
Picking up more, though. More frequent.
Yes, you're staying steady up around 2 to 3 to 4 units now. Yeah.
Each one of these trees that face into the blast, what we assume is a landing site, all have an abrasion facing in the same direction towards the center.
That's interesting. Well, let's go this way around the circle here. Turn it back down here.
Picking up some of your collection.
Let me see that. That's kind of funny. You're right about the abrasion. I've never seen a tree never seen a pine tree that's been damaged react that fast.
I got a bottle to put that in.
Yeah, you got a sample bottle?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
For the soil. Put the
Yeah, here, sit this on the ground.
You'll notice they're all the same.
Okay, from now on, let's identify that as point number 1. That stake there. So you all know where it is if we have to sketch it. You got that set, Nevels?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Closest to the Woodbridge base.
Point 1.
Be point 1. And let's go clockwise from there.
Point 2.
Point 2? So this tree is between point 2 and point 3.
That 2 other personnel requesting to randomly get that your location.
Tell them negative at this time. We'll tell them when they can come out here. We don't want them out here right now.
Okay, the sample, you're going to mark this sample number 1.
Yes.
Have them cut it off and include some of that sap and all. Is between indentation 2 and 3 on a pine tree about 5 feet away, about 3.5 feet off the ground.
I've got some more, but
There's a round abrasion on the tree about 3.5, 4 inches in diameter. It looks like it might be old, but strange as a crystalline pine sap has come out that fast. You say there's other trees here that are damaged in similar fashion?
yes, so I may come in toward the center of the landing site.
Okay, why don't you take a picture of that and remember your picture, and you got to be writing this down. It's going to be on the tape.
I've got a tape measure with you.
This is the picture. Your first picture will be of the first tree, the one between Mark 2 and 3. Meantime, I'm going to look at a couple of these trees over here.
We are getting some.
You're getting readings on the tree you're taking samples from on the side facing the suspected landing site.
4 clicks max.
Up to 4. Interesting. That's right where you're taking the sample now. 4. That's the strongest point on the tree?
Yes, sir. If you come to the back, there's no clicks whatsoever.
No clicks at all on the back. It's all on the
Maybe one or
side
two.
facing the... Interesting. The indentations look like something twisted as it got, as it sat down on them. Looks like someone took something and sat it down and twisted it from side to side. Very strange. We're looking at the same tree we took the sample off with this, what do you call it, star scope? Star. You're getting a definite heat reflection off the tree, about 3 to 4 feet off the ground.
Yes, where the spot is.
Same place where the spot is. We're getting a heat.
Spot
spot on the tree directly behind us. I picked up the same thing, and one off to your right.
3 trees in the area, immediately adjacent to the site, within 10 feet of the suspected landing site. We're picking up heat reflection off the trees.
Light 5 and
What's that again?
Well, shine a light on again, Bob.
Oh, you have trouble here, Joe? Yeah.
Get right on the spot, and then when you want them,
Okay, turn the light on.
You'll notice the white.
Hey. You're right. There's a white streak on the tree.
Indicates
Let me turn around and look at this tree over here now. Just a second. White streak right on the tree. I can see it. Wait a minute, give me a little side lighting so I can find the tree. Okay, off. I lost the tree. Okay, stop. Light on. Hey, this is eerie.
What is the hot spot?
This is strange. Here, somebody want to look at the spots in the ground? Whoops, watch your nose. We're walking all over. Oh, goodness, sir. Okay, let's step back, not walk all over. Come back here, somebody put a beam on them. But you're going to have to be back 10 or 15 feet. You see it?
Okay, fine.
Okay, lights off. What do you think about the spot? Yeah. Want to see the first spot? Okay, that's what we call spot number 3. Let's go to the back corner and get spot number 1. Spot number 1. Here's spot number 1 right here. Spot number 1 right here. You need some light? There it is right there. Focused? Okay. Look around spot number 1 through the starlight scope. Slight increase in light at spot number 1. Let's go look at spot number 2. Spot number 2 is right over here. Right here. See it? Okay, get focused on it. Tell me when. Okay. Lights on. Let's see what we get on it.
Light increase.
Just a slight increase?
Try to center.
The center spot. Well, it really isn't center. It's slightly off center. It's right there. Okay. We're going to get your reading on it right there.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready. Okay, lights on. This is the center spot we're looking at now. Almost the center. Slight increase there. This is slightly off center toward the 1-2 side. It's some type of abrasion or something in the ground where the pine needles are all pushed back, and we get a high reading about deflection of 2 to 3, maybe 4, depending on the point on it.
yes. You said there's a positive after effect? Yes, there is definitely. That's on the center spot. There is an after effect.
What does that mean?
It means when the lights are turned off, once we are focused in and allow time for the eyes to adjust, we are getting an indication of a heat source coming out of that center spot, which will show up on the
Heat or some form of energy. It's hardly heat at this stage of the game. Looking directly overhead, one can see an opening in the trees plus some freshly broken pine branches on the ground underneath. Looks like some of them came off about 15 to 20 feet up. Some small branches about an inch or less in diameter. 0148, we're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmers' barnyard animals. It's very, very active, making an awful lot of noise.
It wasn't a pigmentation.
You just saw a light where? Wait, where?
Right on this position here, straight ahead, in between the tree. There it is again. Watch, straight ahead off my flash right there. So there it is.
Hey, I see it too. What is it?
We don't know, sir.
So, can I get some? Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be out maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. I'm going to switch off it. The light is gone now. It was approximately 120 degrees from the site. Is it back again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the flashlight set. Let's move out to the edge of the clearing so I can get a better look at it. See if you can get the star scope on it. The light's still there, and all the barnyard animals have gotten quiet now. Yeah, we're heading about 110 to 120 degrees from the site out through to the clearing now. Still getting a reading on the meter. About 2 clicks. Meter count 3 to 4 clicks, getting stronger.
Now it's that's coming up. Hold on, there we go. It's about approximately 4 foot off the ground. Coming to set to 110 degrees.
All right, just turn the meter off. Got to say that again. About 4 feet off the ground, about 110 degrees, getting the reading of about 4 clicks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Now it's dying.
no, it's not. I think it's something other than the ground. I think it's something variable
Got
here.
the tree right over.
We just frightened the first night bird we've seen. We're about 150 or 200 yards from the site. Everything else is just deathly calm. There is no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead.
It's yellow.
I saw a yellow tinge in it, too. Weird. It appears to be maybe moving a little bit this way. It's brighter than it has been.
Yellow.
It's coming this way.
Also,
It is definitely coming this way.
it's shooting.
Pieces of it are shooting off. There is no doubt about it. This is weird.
To the left.
Yeah, definitely moving off.
Two lights. One light to the front,
Okay.
one light to the left.
Keep the flashlights off. There's something very, very strange. Keep the headset on. See if it gets any stronger. Okay. Give us a rundown.
Notation that this is on a beta reading, too.
It's on a beta reading?
Beta
Okay.
still has been removed.
Okay. Pieces are falling off it again.
But it just moved to the right.
Yeah.
Off to the right.
Strange. Oh, well, why don't we left? Let's approach to the edge of the woods up there. Can you undo without lights? Let's do it carefully. Come on. Okay, we're looking at the thing. We're probably about 200 to 300 yards away. It looks like an eye winking at you. It's still moving from side to side. And when you put the star scope on it, it sort of has a hollow center, a dark center. It's like the pupil of an eye looking at you and winking. And the flash is so bright to the star scope that it almost burns your eye. We passed the farmer's house and across in the next field. Now we have multiple sightings of up to 5 lights with a similar shape and all, but they seem to be steady now rather than a pulsating or glow with a red flash. We just crossed the creek, and we're getting what kind of readings now? Getting 3 good clicks on the meter, and we're seeing strange lights in the sky. 244, we're at the far side of the second farmer's field, and made sighting again about 110 degrees. This looks like it's clear out to the coast. It's right on the horizon. Moves about a bit and flashes from time to time. Still steady or red in color. Also, after negative readings in the center of the field, we're picking up slight readings, 4 or 5 clicks now on the meter. 305, we see strange strobe-like flashes to the rather sporadic, but there's definitely something, some kind of phenomenon. 305, at about 10 degrees horizon directly north, we've got 2 strange objects, half-moon shape, dancing about with colored lights on them. That gets to be about 5 to 10 miles out, maybe less. The half-moons have now turned into full circles. As though there was an eclipse or something there for a minute or two. 315, now we've got an object about 10 degrees directly south, 10 degrees off the horizon. And the ones in the north are moving, one's moving away from us. Moving out fast.
This one on the right's heading away, too.
Yeah, we're both heading north. So here he comes from the south. He's coming toward us now. Now we're observing what appears to be a beam coming down to the ground. This is unreal. 330, and the objects are still in the sky, although the one to the south looks like it's losing a little bit of altitude. We're turning around and heading back toward the base. The object to the south is still beaming down lights to the ground. 0400 hours, one object still hovering over Woodbridge base at about 5 to 10 degrees off the horizon, still moving erratic and similar lights and beaming down this area.
On January 13, 1981, Halt filed a memo to the Ministry of Defense, or MOD, titled Unexplained Lights, detailing the craft, radiation, and beams. He notes, the objects were under intelligent control. The MOD's response per a 1981 letter is dismissive. No defense significance, likely a lighthouse or meteorological phenomenon. Halt, in a 2016 interview, fumed, they buried it. Someone wanted this gone. The witnesses face pressure. Peniston's 1980 statement, released in 2001, says OSI, the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, debriefed us for hours. They said, this didn't happen. Burroughs, in a 2015 book, Encounter in Rendlesham Forest, claims he was denied medical records after heart palpitations and eye irritations, later linked to possible radiation. Both men report missing time. Burroughs estimates 20 to 30 minutes unaccounted for. Airman Larry Warren, a controversial witness, claimed he saw a third night's events, including humanoid figures in a glowing mist, but Penniston disputes his presence. The indentations were photographed, measured, and cast in plaster by Suffolk police, who note unusual weight compressed the soil. Forestry workers confirmed scorched trees, some later felled for safety. Radiation levels, while low, are abnormal for a forest, per Dr. John Mason, a physicist who reviewed the data. Local farmer Gordon Levitt told Sky Crash in 1984 that his dogs went mad that week and he saw a glowing object over the forest. The story leaked in October of 1983 via News of the World, headlined UFO Lands in Suffolk, and that's official. Halt's memo, obtained by UFO researcher Robert Todd, sparks a media frenzy. Dr. J. Allen Hynek visited in 1981, calling it a classic case in a letter to the MOD. Books like Sky Crash by Jenny Randles and The Halt Perspective by Halt fuel interest, as do documentaries like UFO Hunters and Netflix Unsolved Mysteries. Penniston embraces the spotlight, speaking at UFO conferences and revealing his binary code in 1994, decoded as coordinates, and a message, exploration of humanity, continuous for planetary advance. Skeptics call it a later edition, but Penniston insists it's authentic. Burroughs, quieter, shares his health struggles in a 2010 interview. I had heart issues at 21. No family history. The VA wouldn't touch it. Halt, the case's linchpin, remains steadfast, telling the Y Files in 2023, I saw technology beyond our capability. It wasn't Russian or American. Skeptics, like astronomer Ian Ridpath, argue the lights were Orford Ness Lighthouse, whose 5-second flash loosely syncs with Halt's tape. But the lighthouse is fixed, visible only from open fields, not the forest's interior. Meteors on December 26 are sighted, but they don't hover or beam lasers. A secret U.S. test, like a stealth drone, is plausible, but no 1980s craft matches the description. Former MOD official Nick Pope, in 2025, claimed, radar tapes from RAF Watton showed anomalies, but they're gone. Someone didn't want this traced. As far as evidence and witness statements, we have the following. Halt's tape, 18 minutes of real-time audio with Halt's voice. It's like an eye, winking at us. Speed is phenomenal. Released in 1983, it's raw and unscripted. Halt's memo in 1981 read, 3 objects, triangular, illuminated, no sound, rapid maneuverability, radiation 0.1 at sight, declassified in 1983. Penniston's statement from 1980, craft was 3 meters wide, warm to touch, symbols like hieroglyphics, felt a presence in my mind, released in 2001 MOD files. Burroughs' statement in 1980, time felt off, my watch was slow, craft moved like it was alive, which was corroborated in 2015. Physical traces, the 3 indentations, 7 by 1.5 inches, forming a 9-foot triangle, scorched trees per forestry logs, radiation 0.07 per Halt's AN PDR 27 readings. Secondary witnesses included Airman Steve Longaro. In a 2018 interview, he said, saw a red orb, felt time freeze. And local Gordon Levitt in 1984 said, the object hovered 10 minutes and was silent. 2001 MOD files confirm the investigation. The Ministry of Defense investigated but dismissed the incident as misidentified lights. Rendlesham is a UFO cornerstone, rivaling Roswell. The Forestry Commission's 2005 UFO trail features a craft replica based on Penniston's sketches. Recent comments tie it to Pentagon UAP reports, suggesting non-human technology. The witnesses Peniston, Burroughs, Halt still speak out. Their trauma is evident. Peniston in 2020 said, "It cost me my marriage. You don't forget that." Burroughs at a 2019 conference added, "We were expendable. They wanted us quiet." Was it extraterrestrial? The craft's silent hover, hieroglyphics, and binary code scream alien. Halt in 2016 leaned interdimensional. It broke physics as we know it. A military test makes sense. Bentwaters was strategic, but why expose airmen? Paranormal fans see ties to Suffolk's haunted history, suggesting the land itself holds secrets. My take? The evidence, tapes, memos, indentations, it's undeniable. Something advanced was there, and the cover-up smells real. These men lived with ridicule and trauma, yet they've never wavered. Rendlesham forces us to ask, what's out there and why won't they tell us? The Rendlesham Forest incident is a haunting puzzle. Credible witnesses, hard evidence, and a truth just out of reach. If you spot a glowing triangle in the woods, maybe snap a pic, but don't expect the Air Force to care. That's it for this episode of Lurk. Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or on lurkpodcast.com with our blog, newsletter, and guest co-host section. Love the show? Tell the world and drop a 5-star review if you can. And until next time, keep lurking.